Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. Once again, I am broadcasting from a wind tunnel, and the fans make some extra noise that you'll probably hear in the background. I do have air conditioning, but if I turn the air conditioning on, it is much louder than the fans. So you probably wouldn't hear me at all if I had the air conditioning on. So, again, I apologize for any extra background noise. Now, we were expecting volatility to expand at some point. We just didn't know it was going to be yesterday morning with crude oil plunging over 8%. Now, that put a bid into the stock market yesterday. The stock market is up again in the pre market this morning, and we don't have a lot of news coming out. We do have consumer confidence coming out at 10. We do have the Fed chairman speaking at 10, but nothing in the pre market on Tuesday morning. Well, there's the price of crude oil dropping over 8% on the USO. Still looking for a close on Tuesday below $76.02 to kick us out of the remainder of our position. Now, we did not hit our next price target of 84.38, but we did hit three price targets. So if you bought 100 shares, for example, at the buy signal, you would have sold 50 at the first target. 50% of the remainder of that position, which would have been 25 shares at the second, 50% of the remainder of your position at the third target, which would have been 12 or 13 shares, up to you, really. And now you're left with, say, 12 shares, which you're going to liquidate if we do close below the lower channel line on Tuesday. Now, the price of gasoline looks pretty similar, looking for a close on Tuesday below $62.91. We did not test or take out the January high on this big up move for gasoline, and we're still trading above the 200-day moving average, which may act as support on the way back down. Now, war is often good for the stock market and the economy. And, there's certain times that it isn't, but for the most part, it's usually pretty good. And if we look at the iShares Aerospace and Defense ETF, you can see that that ETF has performed very well over the last month and a half. So, when war breaks out, it's not a reason to sell stocks. What is a reason to sell stocks, and the market has been trying to deal with this, is that higher oil prices, can certainly change the direction of the market and the economy. So that's what everybody's been concerned about. It's one thing for the price of crude oil to pop as it did over the last week. It's another thing to stay up there for a long time. And we're not seeing that at the moment. So investors are pretty happy. What's going on over in the Middle East at the moment? The risk is still high. The president says there's a ceasefire. People on the ground say there isn't. And we'll just have to wait and see if things calm down. But the risk is still very high up at these levels at the moment. Now, the VIX did pull back a little yesterday for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000. We're still on buy signals here, so options traders are still hedging their bets that what's happening in the Middle East could still unravel, and we'll just have to wait and see, of course. Now, with crude oil reversing yesterday, that put a lot of pressure on energy stocks in Canada. So Canadian Natural Resources is back on a sell signal. We had a new low yesterday for TC Energy. Baytech rolled over yesterday. It's on a sell signal. We're on a sell signal for Synovus. For Suncor, we're still looking for a close below $53.48. We closed at $53.52. So we're right on the edge of a new daily sell signal for Suncor. That is also true for Whitecap, looking for a close below 918. We closed at 919 yesterday, so right on the edge. No change in trend for Bank of Nova Scotia or for the TD Bank, which closed higher yesterday. We also saw Manulife close higher yesterday, so looking for a close on Tuesday above $43.09. And we also had Air Canada back on a buy signal as of Monday's close. Of course, lower crude oil prices is good for the airlines. Then we've got Barrick, the first gold stock. It made a new high for this move yesterday before pulling back, still closing higher on the day. Looking for a close on Tuesday below $28.22 to give us a sell signal. Let's finish off looking at Wall Street's most actives and starting off with the Big Bear. We're just trading water here, nothing going on there. Tesla had a big spike yesterday. It was the big winner on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ on Monday. And that is back on a buy signal as of Monday's close. No joy for Lucid, still on a sell signal here. No change in trend for NVIDIA. still on a buy signal. Nothing going on with NU. Then we've got Intel still on a buy signal. No change there. No change in trend for American Airlines. That would happen on Tuesday with a close above $11.13. Ford still on a buy signal here. No change. No change in trend for Palantir. Still on a buy signal. Unfortunately, Supermicro rolled over yesterday. It is back on a sell signal as of Monday's close, unlike Advanced Micro Devices, which is still on a buy signal. No change in trend there. Then the first gold stock to show up on the most active list is B2 Gold. Things would change there if we close below $3.61. And the first energy stock is Petro Brazil, and it is still on a buy signal here. Things would change on Tuesday with a close below $12.29. Okay, folks, that's all for this morning's presentation. So far, everybody's pretty happy, and we're looking for buyers to come into the market at the open on Tuesday morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. Keep cool. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.